You excessively swipe and tap on a mobile device playing a Marvel game. To most people, that would sound mental. To us, it's a daily occurrence. More on that revelation later on in the show. No, it's not. Welcome to the MCN, everybody. So we've got quite a few things to go over in this video. It is going to be a really cool day because there's going to be a live stream at the end of it, and we're going to discuss all things Battlegrounds. So later on at 9 AM PST and what is that? 5 PM UK time or 6 PM? I don't know because we're on daylight savings time. We're on British summertime, and I need to kind of figure out this 1 hour delay thing and how that works. But in any case, right, we'll find out about the meta. We'll find out about a new event. Would it be? Many people have said it's like to be this new event. It's going to be about this August meta event, this kind of difficult thing. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll have to see. Next up, and problems in Battlegrounds. You've probably seen at the top here, there's a little bit of a masthead warning to say temporary reverting tier 1 system. We are temporarily reverting from 5 bans back to 3. This change will take place on June 14th, which I think is with the next war. So there's been a post which we're going to go over in a minute. It was pointed out this morning. Today, Tier 2 Alliance faced an opponent from Tier 1 where there are 5 bans. Since placing 5 bans is not allowed in Tier 2, the game automatically did this for the Tier 2 Alliance. Kabam should allow Tier 2 Alliances to place their 5 bans in advance when transitioning to Tier 1. There's a lot of... this is a bit of a problem, isn't it, at the moment? This is why, ever since I did the video, I think it was about like 1 season or 2 seasons ago, that there was a warning because the Alliance had been screwed over with them going up in a map. That meant that they had to be prepared and they have to set everything up for different types of map types. This is why our Alliance leadership is like, we need to set up for all these different types of maps just in case we actually go up. And funnily enough, since I made that content and coverage about a season 2 seasons ago, it happened to us. But thankfully we learned from what other players and other alliances have been screwed over. So it's so annoying at times. You've got to be multi-prepared for different types of map things. Just like there is a plus-minus tier map available for placing different defenses, there should be a plus-minus tier option for setting other things like bans. There are difference between wars. Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly the point there that you know we've raised, what we're doing with our alliance. Tough one, isn't it? Absolutely tough one. But Kabam are on the case. You know, we talked about that just a moment ago with it. Kabam Jack said, thank you for alerting the discussion. We've brought this to the game team attention. Discussion are happening around a potential change fix for the future, which is great news. And of course, they did a warning in to say that due to unforeseen interaction relating to bans for Tier 2 alliances entering matches with Tier 1 alliances, we've elected to temporarily revert from 5 bans to 3 bans. This change will be implemented tomorrow, June 14th. We'll follow up with more information when we have it regarding our plans to return to the 5-ban system. Please spread this information to your friends and alliance mates. That's the first time I've seen something like that. But yeah, you should do. Kabam are kind of spread thin now. I'm still going to make a video about like the net marble thing. I've been trying to follow some sources and some other stuff about it, but I get the feeling that people that have been booted out of Kabam have had to sign a gagging order, because a lot of the time you get to hear it within the industry of people being laid off. So I'm not sure if people have signed they're under NDA, but whether or not there's an extra gag order or something to it. Anyway, yeah. Let people know about this information. Also, quick change to things around raids, and also Kabam respond back to raids and MODOK fight, for example. So the first thing what has changed is this extra little addition right here, which has they've removed, updated and correction from boss 1 of each path will now have bundle of basics as the mission and inexorable as the penance. That's been changed. Boss 2, which is Thanos saith as the mission, power gain as penance, and it's now been changed as well. So this is jumbled. For some reason, it's jumbled around with the boss 3 having the exonerable, the power gain going to boss 2, and the suppression going to boss 1. Not sure why they changed for that, but it's been changed. Also, assault role pool changes and Vanguard role pool changes, where we see Guillotine 2099 has been axed in replace for Lady Deathstrike. Lady Deathstrike. Just okay, so and spacing. Scorpion is now being switched for Blade, so that's interesting to have Blade in there. For Vanguard players, which I am, Captain America Sam Wilson is out and Black Panther is in. So that just kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what's going on with that. There's a part 2 to this. I thought it'd be interesting because there was a thread about not a fan of these missions so far. And that's going to be it, isn't it? Like, these things not going down with the community, thought out in a player base mind. And at times I'm like, well, Kabam don't really nowadays run a lot of ideas past the community. Should they or should they not? You know, the games, I always think that when games reach like a span of about 10 years or a longer time, then I'm not saying you've got borrowed time with the game, but that's at the time of going, you should have by now understanding community, or at least are you working with them, or are you working for them, or are you working against them? That's always a tough one. Kabam do listen. It's difficult saying that, isn't it? Like, Kabam do listen at times, but there is a bit of a difference to go, hey, these nodes, these really work. You know, remember the Crush Alliance Wars. I mean, Alliance Wars tactics in general can be a bit stinky, and they have to revert the changes. But you kind of go, wouldn't it be better to run this past like community a bit and just go, oh, we'll get a bit of feedback on stuff, new nodes, new missions and stuff. So, first of all, Hungry Barbecue. Oh, I love a nice barbecue. It says, Whiff ×3. Why? Might as well read play poorly and score 0 damage while completing the mission. His AI just legit charges at you when you attempt it, as opposed to usual AI behavior backup when we are whiffing lights. Yeah, AI in Raids is very odd. From the first time it was put in, the AI was just terrible. And then, I don't know, a couple of fights in... I don't know. I feel like some of the Alliance Raids fights have been kind of meh with just how the enemies have been. Anyway, the block hits 5, so it requires aggressive AI, and he really is aggressive. To back up twice to complete this mission, and again, it's another mission that involves not connecting attacks, doing damage to the defender. Literally 66% of the mission requires us to intentionally not connect our attacks to do damage. Well, okay, that's not particularly great, is it? All other missions on the other boss involve doing damage while completing, say the Dex mission, but Dexing can be completed in a normal flow of combat and no time is really lost doing it. It's normal, part of the gameplay, but have the final boss with 2-3 missions not dealing damage with completing them is a big problem in my opinion, so you keep getting one of those 2 in a row multiple times. That's a wasted run. Yeah. So, Kabam, what did Kabam say about this? Because they have responded. First of all, the fight's definitely trickier than anything in the last raid, but it is still doable. We'll see what the data says, but I suspect by the second or third cycle, players will have sorted out the best champions and gotten some more practice on the fights. And most alliances will be back to clearing the map before the midweek revive reset. Again, we will see what the data shows, but on the surface it doesn't seem outside the acceptable tuning window. Also interesting is Kabam Crash said that he's using a rank 2 Iron Man, rank 2 7-star Iron Man, I can imagine. I'm jealous of that first and foremost. I struggled with my first few MODOK fights as my roll boosts need armor ups to trigger undermine with boss missions, and generating armor was challenging through his auto block, but eventually got the hang of it and got a solid run in before others in my alliance finished him off. Like I said, definitely trickier, but I'm pretty confident with a little more practice it won't be too bad. Yeah, I'm not happy with the champion I brought in. I had a really rough time and I need to kind of go back to Iron Man. I decided to try some stuff out, but I do find that trying stuff out with the mode, because it is very it's not unforgiving. That's an issue. Yes, okay, you got your revives, but I kind of feel like you have to bring in the right champion, because then you're like, yeah, you've got to bring in the right champion. Otherwise, it does feel like a bit meh. with all that. But maybe it's time for Kabam, once they get the data in, to consider some changes to that champion, especially from what a lot of you know, people are saying from experience. And I'm sure if they see the data, they'll have a different you know, state of mind of it. But again, it's like, well, who's testing this stuff out beforehand? What expectations? Like, is somebody saying like, oh, I'm less skilled, but I use low revives? Oh, that's fine, we won't use your data, but we'll use this kind of like quite skilled person as the benchmark for this stuff. That's always the concern that I have, like what levels of skill, and where then Kabam go, this content needs to be nodes less aggressive, defender AI needs to be downgraded, coded in this way. Like, that's the things that like I feel we need to find out more from like what Kabam are doing when it comes to these testing elements, but I don't think we'll ever get that level of detail. But anyway, how are you finding the MODOK fight? Are you finding it doable? Enjoying the Alliance raids at the moment? Not enjoying them? Got the right champion? Feel you don't have the right champion? Experimented what you thought would be the right champion, and in fact it didn't really work for you, which is the situation I was really in? Make sure to say something in the comments. And now on to a case of don't say things if you lose in Battlegrounds. Just take it on the chin and move on to the next fight. And don't worry, the new system Kabam are going to be putting in if you win and if you lose, that you'll find out about later on today, is going to make you really happy about how to progress through it. So here's the story. This guy added me and sent death threats to me and my mum after I beat him in Battlegrounds. I understand the frustrations of losing in a small margin in the last round, but there has got to be limits. I did not get a screenshot of the chat because he instantly blocked me, but I assume that some developers can possibly go in game and see deleted chats. My in-game name is... yeah, so somebody got incredibly salty and sent threats and sent, like, you know, vulgar things, stuff that was even had asterisks and hashtags, sorry, to kind of like say that, you know, something quite offensive. But of course, at this particular point, Kabam have been able to go in and see it and deal with it, and of course have, well, and by the way, people, don't disrespect other people. It's just, there's no need for it. Kabam Jack said, thank you for those that helped that situation. The support team received the ticket and investigated yesterday. We don't typically discuss bans on the forums, but this account was taken care of. It's quite funny because it reminds me like a mafia thing. I want you to take him outside and take care of him. What do you mean? Like take him out for a steak dinner? No. Make him feel more comfortable. What, do you want me to tuck him in the, you know, the bed or something? No, I want you to make him not around anymore. Okay, you want me to take him back to his house on the edge of town? It's like kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah, they were taken care of. They got banned. Don't say mean things. If you do lose, you lost. Move on to the next fight. That's probably the best thing you can do rather than getting angry. Okay, now we're going to finish off the show on a Friday with arena predictions. I try and stay up longer than normal to try and record the MCN with this, but I'm going to try and do them more on Fridays. I did get requested to do these arena predictions, but they will be on Friday until daylight savings time kicks in and I can record the MCN and we kind of find out this, which goes live at 11 PM. Like, it's 11 PM, like this comes out at 11 PM. I'm not kidding you. It says there 11 PM, which is a bit late for me to be up and making videos and waiting for arena stuff. But when daylight savings time comes around, boom, that'll be 10 PM and that falls in nicely to the MCN record time. Anyway, my predictions for arcade are 120 mil. You may want to raise that to 130 mil. It's, again, difficult with arenas. I've seen sometimes it's going like 118, 110 mil. Silver Sable, I think, went to like 99 mil. Arcade, as a 5-star, what's happened with my voice? My voice has gone all funny. I'll leave that in the video because sometimes these things happen. 120 mil for 6-star arcade, 26 mil for 5-star arcade, Nimrod 6-star 20 mil, and 10 mil to 10 mil. I need to end this video now. 10 mil for 5-star Nimrod. That's been a video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've had a laugh, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the live stream later on. Cheers. Bye.